Good day my little robins, it's me Beth. I'm back and I'm bringing you guys my first ever album review on this channel, so bear with me. There's going to be some kinks I need to, iron out in future videos. Anyway, the album I'm going to be reviewing is the third album by British metalcore band While She Sleeps, You Are We. That's right, I already reviewed the single Silent Speaks. You can check it out on my channel. I'll leave a link probably down in the description box below. On the 21st of April, we got the album, and then on the 22nd of April, I went out to my local HMV in Liverpool, and I actually bought the album in all its glory, because I've always been one of those fans that like to actually own a physical copy of the album. Before I start the review, can I just talk about this album artwork? I love it, it's simple, the hand, the smoke, I love the black, I love the bluey green smoke. I didn't have green lippy, I only had blue. Yep, tracks on the back. What I like though most about it is when you open it and it's dedicated. It's a dedication album. For those of you who don't know, Architects unfortunately lost one of their members, Tom, and it was a very sad time, for music and the community as a whole. I think sometimes people forget that although bands, you are competing with each other for sales, for fans, for views, that they're making music for people. There are people behind the bands. I just think, it was nice that, While She Sleeps decided, to dedicate the whole album. I just think it's very touching. It makes it more personal. And, I'm kind of happy to own a physical copy. We've Got Nothing to Lose is my favourite lyric taken from the opening track on the album, You Are We, and quite frankly, in my eyes, this lyric speaks volumes, pun intended if you've listened to the rest of the album, because all 11 songs are intense, confrontational, and they grab you around the throat and force you to listen to what this insanely talented band have to say about the sorry state of our society. Whew, that was a bit of a mouthful. Let's start the review. The standout thing for me personally about this album are the mixture of, Taylor's lead vocals with Welsh's backing vocals. A band can have, good instruments, good lyrics, good songs, but without, a great vocalist, or in this case, two great vocalists, complementing each other, a band can, never stand out from the pack, and I think some metalcore bands, can struggle to break away from the pack, but this album, the vocals allow While She Sleeps, to firmly, stand their place in metalcore culture and history, though I'm not knocking, the instruments, the guitars and the drums by a long run, because they are intense and driven from the start. They grab your attention, and they kind of do something they do something to me emotionally. I know fans will say that different instruments do different things to them, but I think it is a great combination in the vocals, the instruments. Oh, While She Sleeps. And this album probably has some of the best breakdowns I've heard so far in 2017, so well done. I've actually read a lot of reviews and I've seen a lot of people commenting, about the album, and most people seem to be really critiquing, two songs, Wide Awake and Empire of Silence. And quite frankly, Empire of Silence is my favourite song on this whole album, with Steal the Sun and Silent Speaks, taking second and third place. Not gonna lie, I probably will, and I have skipped over Wide Awake. You don't have to like every single song on an album, and I think bands know that not every single song's going to appeal, but I can kind of see where people are coming from. Wide Awake is a bit forgetful, pardon my, word vomit, I'm very tired, but Empire of Silence, standout track in my eyes. Lyrically, the band are very politically driven, singing songs about politics, war and corruption, and these are subjects and topics they haven't shied away from, on previous albums, which as a long-term fan, I applaud because they're sticking to their roots and their core message. And personally, I think this isn't just an album that While She Sleeps fans, wanted, but also what the music world kind of needs right now. You can't turn on the telly or read the newspaper without something bad sad and negative happening, and I think we all need like an angsty, angry, politically driven album to let out all our rage without doing anything, you know, too stupid. There isn't a dull moment on the album start to finish, and I found myself getting a little bit upset when I got to the closing track, In Another Now, and I was like, oh, it's over, and then I realised I could just, you know, press repeat and listen to the album again, and again, and again, much to the annoyance of my flatmate and probably my upstairs and my downstairs neighbour. Singles already released before the album were Silence Speaks, Hurricane and Feel. Now personally I think these songs were very well selected, you know, not just to appeal to old fans but also to welcome new fans into the fold, because what you can't forget about, you know, this album is that it was entirely paid for by the fans via PledgeMusic. Yeah, the band decided to ditch, you know, labels and like record companies and do it independently. While She Sleeps have always been quite close to their fans, I know as being a fan that, you know, the fan base is very welcoming, it's a great community. This project was by the fans, for the fans, and I can't wait to see, you know, more bands potentially in the future, you know, actually using fans to fund their music, because if they can create such a good album like this, why can't other bands do it in the future? While She Sleeps did take a risk by doing this, but they pulled it out of the bloody bag in my eyes. If I had to give, you know, this album like a final rating out of 5, I am not ashamed to give this album a 5 out of 5, because the vocals, you know, the instruments, the lyrics, you know, the clear love between the band and the fans, they make this album an experience, you know, to listen to, and like I've already said, I'm seeing them live next week, and I hope that will like enhance the experience, like the listening experience. So yeah, I'm giving this album, You Are We by While She Sleeps, 5 out of 5, because I can be generous when I want to be. In the comments below, I would love to hear your guys', you know, thoughts about the album, you know, what are your favourite tracks, what are your least favourite tracks. Let's start a conversation. While you're down there, you know, you can check out all the links to my social media. Click like if you enjoyed the video and want to see more album reviews in the future. Yeah, subscribe. You can click my face here to subscribe. You can watch my last 2 videos here. But until next time, I am Beth. Keep enjoying music.